Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hope everyone is doing well. So, uh, for this podcast, we're gonna have a couple of updates, stuff that's coming throughout the day, and just really celebrating Harry. And also, I'm opening up the chat. So, anybody that wants to come on and you can talk about Harry, you can talk about anything that's happened in the last 7 days, whatever you want. Um, the chat is open. So link is in chat now, and I'll just pin it to the top. And yes, a very happy birthday indeed. Happy 38th birthday to Captain Wales. Can't imagine what it must be like to have um, such a remarkable life. Pretty much growing up in a Truman Show like situation with a family that doesn't really show emotion and an institution that doesn't really show care for the people within it. And, that young boy that walked behind his mother's coffin found love. And unfortunately, he's being punished for it. But like I always say, I do genuinely believe that this time will pass and that Harry and Meghan will come out on top. And I am seeing the tone beginning to change, both with media pundits and just everyday people who are just like, enough of this, enough of the hate. What is it for? What have they done exactly? So just in the last hour, there was an article in the Mirror that is saying that Harry will wear his costume in a vigil tomorrow. So I'm going to read what the exact article says. So this is an exclusive. So clearly somebody within the fold has leaked. And this is what it said. Prince Harry will wear his military uniform on Saturday in a special tribute to the Queen, the American reveal. The Duke of Sussex has been given special permission to don his military colours for a lying in state vigil staged by Her Majesty's grandchildren at Westminster Hall. I really, I mean, the way they've put that has been given permission. He doesn't actually need permission. He has every right to wear his military uniform. Anyway, it goes on to say the Queen's 8 grandchildren, including Harry and his brother Prince William, will stand tomorrow evening in silence for a 15-minute vigil, another vigil, alongside Her Majesty's coffin. No word on whether or not Meghan will be at that vigil, but I can assume that she will be. Um, Actually, she may not be because it doesn't mention Kate. Okay, I guess we'll see. Palace officials are understood to have intervened after it emerged his disgraced uncle, Prince Andrew, also no longer a working royal, had been given special permission to wear his uniform. Now listen to the way they've worded that. Palace officials are understood to have intervened after it emerged. Like, was it not obvious to you that it would look silly in the first place? That Harry would not be in his uniform? What's really happened is that they've caught the mood of the public and they've realised how ridiculous they looked yesterday. A source said common sense has prevailed. Well, it's a shame common sense was not there when this decision was initially made. It was a ludicrous situation given the Duke of Sussex has served his country and is a highly respected member of the armed forces, more respected than anybody in that family. Let's just be clear. The Queen's other grandchildren, including Princess Beatrice and Eugenie, Sarah and Peter Phillips, and Lady Louise and James Viscount 7, are also listed to form part of the Guard of Honour tomorrow evening. So nothing about whether or not he will wear his military uniform on the day of the funeral. This is for the vigil tomorrow. And I wonder if it's just because they're also trying to trap Harry and embarrass him because he did put out a statement saying, regardless of what I wear, I'm still a serviceman, basically. Oh, the games these people play. In other news, Mariah Carey was featured for Variety, and she did an interview and said about being on Megan's podcast. The podcast with Megan, I felt, was an important moment and one that I truly enjoyed. There are so many misconceptions about her and about me. You can't even realize how many misconceptions. And I totally agree with Mimi here because I feel like growing up in the 90s, now that I reflect on it, the media almost wanted to, caricature who Mariah was. And I guess shame her for, yes, being ambitious and being unapologetically that diva. And so I'm glad we've come to a place where we're having these conversations now. And I think what Megan has done with her podcast and the women that she's bringing on are allowing for those conversations. Rahini, I can see you in the chat. I will let you up in a moment, hun. But it's just very unfortunate that we have missed out on a lot this month. We would have seen more episodes from Archetypes. Megan would have done a Jimmy Fallon appearance, her speech at the UN Assembly, Variety Power of Women event, and Variety's Power of Women cover. So I'm sure the cover will still come out. I guess we'll see her at the Variety Power of Women event next year. UN Assembly, I guess they can reschedule at some point. Jimmy Fallon's appearance, yes, that can definitely be rescheduled. It's actually probably a good thing that her Jimmy Fallon appearance is going to be delayed because Jimmy Fallon has been in a lot of trouble because of his behavior at the Emmy Awards, basically stealing a Black woman's moment. So that's probably a good thing, actually, that that's been delayed because by the time that kind of blows over, then Megan can go on the show. And of course, Archetypes, I feel like the excitement about that because of the guest she has on is always going to be there. So I don't think Archetypes is going to lose any momentum. So with that, don't forget that the link, if you want to join the chat, is in the chat box. And Rahini, dear, I will let you on.
Hi, squaddies.
Hi, Rahini.
Oh my gosh, it would be my dream to know that Prince Harry, one of his team or friends is here and can convey how much we wish him a happy birthday. Even though today is a bit of a sad time, I know, it would be my dream if one of them would hear it and convey our message to him that we love him and we we wish him a good day today. We wish him a good day today. I do hope he have a good day today. I really do. I would have hoped that,
Yeah.
he had gone for the kids and brought them over and, as a family they'd have been here, but I guess they have their reasons. But I hope he does have a good day today. At the very least, he's with his wonderful wife, so I'm happy. But I wondered, um, when I saw the person, I think she was on CNN, the reporter that seemed so gleeful to say that he would not be allowed to wear his uniform. It seemed as though it was like a leaked story. You know what I mean? So it wasn't something officially put out there. And I'm wondering who exactly makes that decision because it is so awkward to me how much control these courtiers and palace poo-poos, I don't know what to call them, how much control they have over one of the most powerful people in the families in the United Kingdom. Listen, the monarch is 1/3 of the government. They make up the
Yes.
part of the executive branch. So how is it you have all these aides and courtiers that have so much more control and could have you as a father, because Prince,
Mm.
one of the things you have to think about in a case like this is your children. I know, he is grieving for his mother, but as a parent, you always look to see how your kids are doing. I know that's what my mother did when her father died. And that was her
Yes.
husband of 40 years, right? And she made sure that we were okay because that's what a parent does. And for you to want to publicly humiliate, because that's what it looked like. It looked like you were trying to shame him, right? It looked like you were
Yes. And it
spanking him in
backfired.
public. It looked like you were spanking him in public for doing what? For having his own mind, for being
Mm.
an intelligent person,
Mm.
for deciding to chart his own course. And you did it. I
Mm.
can't see how you as a father, you're already you're King Charles is already have a reputation for being a bit of a deadbeat, right? You would think
Yes.
that at this moment, your crowning moment of being king, you would be king. You would be at your best, and you would show that yes, I'm not
Yes.
just I'm not just a king, but I'm also a good father. You would think he'd do that, but
Mm.
common sense ain't always common. So, but I do hope Harry's having a good day today.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure there were Zoom calls to the kids and waffles, and I hope they had a really nice day. And just, if anything, just that they got to relax, because this all must just be so emotionally draining for them. And what do you see going forward, Rahini? Do you think after this it's just going to be back to Montecito and back to normal and back to building our empire? Because there's just so much chat, and I think it's absolute rubbish. But it seems like there's a desperate grab to try and get Harry at least back into the fold.
Well, obviously, King Charles needs him. He needs him. He needs him because he needs as much good press attached to him as possible, because he can't get that from
Mm.
Prince Peggy. Um, POW. I'm calling him that. Peggy of Wales. He's not gonna get
Yes.
that from him. And even from just a superficial standpoint, the new Waleses are as interesting as watching paint dry. So so there's nothing there, right? And worse yet,
Mm.
I am sure he's well aware that his son is trying to stage a coup. William is snapping at his heels, right? He is snapping at his heels as we speak. So I think he's well aware of that, and he needs Harry there. Harry might be the only one that, because Harry has the rest of the world. As far as I'm concerned, England, y'all could keep Peggy. We're good with Peggy. We don't need him. We have Harry, right? Y'all could keep him.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good. The rest of the world have Harry. And what I saw is that England was on display, particularly its media, right? At
Yes.
this funeral, they were paying attention and they saw how stupid they were. They saw y'all. Well, I mean, I guess the media,
Yeah.
right? They saw it, and the world is asking, hold up, why are you criticizing them?
Yes.
What is all of this about? And it does not look good. So the
Yeah.
smart thing to do is to be somewhat pro Harry and Meghan, right?
Mm.
That's the smart thing to do on his
Yeah, but
part. So I could see them doing it. But I also believe that there are some legal issues in terms of his grandmother's will, and
mm,
also the children and the titles going forward. I believe, you know King Charles might be looking to restructure. So those discussions are going to be had. I don't think they'll leave right away. I personally don't. But if I'm wrong,
mm,
I would love to see Megan just hop on a plane and go back to her babies, away from these evil people. I want to see her
mm,
in California by the beach, right? But I don't think that's in the cards for them personally.
Yeah, and but even I think even if there were some negotiations, I can imagine it would probably just be Harry to stay. I think he'd probably want Meghan to go straight back, and Meghan probably wants to go straight back as well. But thank you so much, Rahini. I will let MMZ. You seem to have two lines open at the back, so you need to close one and also switch off your camera, please. So while you're doing that, I will let Melissa Johnson talk. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, hi. Oh, I just
How are
want to
you,
say
darling?
I'm fine, thank you. I just want to say I'm a huge fan and I like this community.
Oh, thank you so
And
much.
yeah, it's nice to be able to have a space like this just so people can really express how they feel, because if you look at the media, they've
Mm,
not really allowed people that really want to defend them to
mm,
actually come out and talk. But I guess we all know what's going on here, because right now there's even problems with as you can tell, I'm from London.
mhm.
There's even problems with them even holding hands. But there was two white couples
Yes.
that was holding hands, but nobody said anything. And the fact that
Mm,
there's a mixed race couple holding hands, everyone's got anything to say. But as soon as you say the word racism, they want to turn around and say, "What? Where? What are you talking about? Huh? What? What? What racism?" You know what I mean? They want to act like you understand where I'm coming from. It's like it's just to be
yeah.
honest with you, I'm not
Did
sure
you
who gets.
sorry, did you
Go ahead.
listen to LBC radio today?
I watched the LBC radio radio, and I've always been. I'm not saying fan, but I agree with what he says. He speaks the truth, and I'm
Yeah,
not
the James
sure
O'Neill
if this.
guy, right?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't think this country understands what it's doing. It's actually destroying its
Yeah.
monarchy, because if
Yes.
you look at it on a business sense and stuff, you've got two old people internationally nobody cares about, and they won't be selling
Mm,
any newspapers. And then after that, they're left with a marriage that no one has the balls to even talk about. And
mhm,
and who's going to go to all of these countries, which is the Commonwealth, and then who's going to be doing the duties within the UK? They're not thinking at
mhm,
all, and that's what happens when you move with hate in your heart. You end up looking stupid. You end up, because I don't think they're really understanding what they're doing. And I think, how can I explain, the second she came in the family, everybody should have acted accordingly, because we are on the world stage and everybody's
mm,
watching about how England is going to be treating her. And everybody that's outside the EU, I mean not EU, outside the country, as well as inside the country, has the same story of how they've been treated in England. So this is nothing
yeah,
new, and that's why people can relate, because it's nothing new. Like, a Spanish person has gone through the same thing she's gone through. A Jamaican person has gone through, and that's what like, my background is Jamaica, even though I don't talk it and people call me Jamaican. um,
oh, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one.
they call me Jamaican and stuff, but that's what I like about Jamaica. Jamaica does not kiss anyone's bottom at all. It
Oh yeah,
tells you to
of
go
course.
away. Do you understand?
Hmm.
Because Jamaica understood what they were doing. They're trying to go on, "Oh, we are not a racist tour." No, baby, you racist. You all the way racist. You know what I mean? And I just, it's just, and it's pure jealousy. She's beautiful. She's talented.
Yes,
She's
business
you
savvy.
know what I mean? Exactly. You got Kate Middleton that stands there like a bobblehead, and she wonder why her man wants to go up to Norfolk. Come on, like, it's just, it's I don't know, like,
Mm,
if you can't compare. I'm not one of those women that likes to compare women and stuff, but you got one woman that's been stalking and chasing a man for 10 years, and he still doesn't want her. That's why he's gone up to Norfolk and he's doing whatever allegedly in Norfolk. You know what I mean? and
mm,
then and then then you got this woman that has achieved so much. Like, she knew heads of states, kings and queens, before she
mhm.
even met Harry. She had that
Yes.
connection. So you know what I mean? So it's not like she needed Harry to make that connection. She already had that connection. She was on Air Force One. So it's jealousy. They feel threatened, and it's jealousy. That's all it is. Because I don't know how they can say that she's irrelevant. But all if you look at every single front page of the newspaper, they got her
Yes.
picture. They got her picture. They don't have Kate's picture. They don't have anybody else's picture within the family mourning. They got her picture because they know she sells newspapers. And I think on the
Yeah.
wedding, they brought 1.6 billion into the economy on that one day. No other wedding has ever done that. I think that needs to be checked, but it's
Yeah.
1.6 billion. So it's just jealousy. You know what I mean? And I think that
100%. And you actually heard that jealousy on, so that there was a second segment that James did on LBC where he actually brought on a woman to try and
yeah,
explain why it was that she was so pissed off that Harry and Meghan were holding hands, and she was literally just going around in
in
circles,
circles.
making herself just sound like an absolute fool, and she could not give an actual reason. And she said, "Oh
Exactly.
well, it's a it's a procession." And then James said, "Well, Zara and Mike Tyndall were holding hands." And then she was like, "Oh, but they're like lower royals and they're not part of the official
Nah,
procession."
see,
And she was
racism.
just going around and round and round. So it was the most hilarious thing. If you can find it, go and watch it, because
I'll try to find that section. I'll try and find. I saw there was a part one. I don't think I saw I'm not sure if there's a part two because I saw it on YouTube. So and when it comes to their segment, it doesn't go all the way through. There's usually it's cut off at some parts, but it's just and even with this whole entire racism thing, now I just look at this as this pure jealousy. You don't like
yes.
me and you don't like my skin color, but yet you go on holiday to look like me. You know what I mean? It just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. So when even yes, I understand I'm a light skinned woman and I understand there are dark skinned women that go through a lot more. So I do understand. I've never actually used this word since when I listened to Mariah Carey and her podcast. I guess I understand my privilege. I never knew that I had privilege at all, but I understand my actual privilege and stuff. And but
But I think in the
yeah,
position that Meghan is in,
yeah,
the establishment, she is biracial, but the establishment sees her as
mm,
black and treats her as black.
as black,
And
yeah,
I think they see her as a symbol of
mm,
a person of color, and so
yeah.
therefore she must be destroyed. And this is
It,
why I
it's
get very annoyed at a lot of black women who are very just vile and equally vitriolic as some racists towards
it's
Meghan, because
true.
they don't seem to realize that even though Meghan is biracial, the establishment is attacking her because of that one drop of blackness.
Exactly. And then there was it's like I and if you look at the journalists that are attacking her, especially the female, I'm sorry, I know I'm pro female and beauty comes within shines within the eye of the beholder, but these motherfuckers are ugly. They're all ugly. Every single one of them, sorry for my language, but they look ugly. You got one short little, I'm not if anyone got is if anyone's listening to this and they got disabilities, I don't have a problem with you. I have a problem with this woman. But one short, wonky eye woman, and you got one. I don't know what she's transitioning into, but we're not ready for that yet. And then we got they're not even good looking. That's the thing. They're just not good looking. She's dealing with low self-esteem people that has never achieved and will never achieve what she has achieved. Meghan Markle is a boss. They are workers and they've been told to attack simply because Meghan and Harry didn't want to shake the hands of the Rupert Murdochs and and
Yes,
and the and the
Gortham is.
Barclays and exactly and the one that looks like he's mixed race. It's just you know
You
um,
Rotham is.
so that's the reason why this is all going on. That's the only
Yeah.
reason. But it's just I don't think the papers understand they're doing more damage to the monarchy than anything
Oh,
else
not just
because
to the
they
monarchy though, to the
to the
whole
country,
country. This
to the
is
whole
this
entire
is
country.
really doing so much damage to the country. And as a young person watching this, I just can't imagine how it feels to really just see it in black and white.
Yeah.
how you are treated if you're somebody that really does have a lot of high ambition. But I've said this on this podcast before. Unfortunately, I think in the United Kingdom, we do suffer from tall poppy syndrome, where the
Mm,
person who, you know, rises above in the field has to be cut down, especially if you're a
mm,
working class person. And then you've got the press. That
mm-hmm,
is literally there and waiting for when you do
mm-hmm.
have your moment. What do? They cut you down. You know,
Exactly.
a really good recent example of this is Olympian Adam Peaty, amazing swimmer,
Mm,
not a problematic guy at all. We're getting ready to go to the Olympics, and in all of the papers, they're talking about, you know, him and his girlfriend's private life, things that it is nobody's business. It's not relevant. You know, he hasn't done anything wrong, but they're making a big splash about his private life instead of supporting the one athlete
mm.
that's going to bring you back a handful of medals. And it's
Is
just,
he? Sorry, go ahead.
Mhm. Oh no, go on.
No, no, no. I was gonna say, is his skin tone black or is he white
He is
or
white,
mixed
but his
race?
girlfriend is he's white, but his girlfriend is mixed race.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's
that
just sad.
exactly. Thank
It's
you
just really,
so.
really
It is really sad. Thank you so much, Melissa. I will let you chime in later on as well. MZ, you need to turn off your camera, darling. At the bottom of the screen, you should see mute camera. Ah, lovely. Thank you so much. Now I can add you to the screen stream. How are you, MZ?
I'm fine, Annie. Thank you so much for everything.
Oh, no
And
worries. Thank you all for supporting.
yeah, and I want to use this moment to wish Prince Harry happy birthday. I wish him so many long life, good health, anything he desire for. And for the Queen, when the Queen passed away, I'm so happy that Harry and Maggie they are in UK when this thing happened because they don't expect
Mm,
that, oh, this is what will happen. You understand
mm,
what I'm saying? But
mm,
thank God for everything. And also, a lot of my friends they posted it on their WhatsApp page and everything, the Queen death and everything. For me, I don't do that because it's just normal 96 years old that is dead, that just passed away. I feel
mm,
so. I'm calling from Belgium right now. I feel so sorry for a lot of people in Britain right now because I always come to Britain. I feel
mm.
so sorry because
Sorry, sorry, MZ. Where are you from? Where are you from originally?
from Belgium, I'm from Nigeria, but I'm Belgium. I
Living
live
in.
in Belgium.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah. So I feel so sorry with the economic crisis right now, electricity crisis right now, and everything. Having a
Mm,
funeral for 10 days, that's a lot of money. That's a
yeah.
lot of money for the taxpayer. The royal family has a lot of money to do this funeral. They don't have to put these expenses on the taxpayer. They have the money to do everything. I just
Yes.
feel that this whole thing is just vanity because all this property they have, they are not going to bury the queen with any of the property and everything.
Mm,
And I pray that Princess Diana's spirit will not rest until he deal with these people, Charles, Camilla, the royal family. He
yes.
exposed them. I just pray, my God, that this woman should expose them because what they did to Princess Diana is unbelievable. The same thing they are doing to Harry and Meghan right now. And my heart really bleeds for them so, 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 so much. For me, if what they are doing to Maggie right now, any woman is in support of it right now, it will be that woman's one day, it will be for that woman. As a black,
Mm,
also, anything they are doing to Maggie right now, one day it will also be for that black lady also. So I'm not going to support anything. I don't know Maggie from when he gets married to Harry. I knew her when it's because of Maggie I was watching Suits. I don't watch Suits. It's
mm.
because of Maggie. I really fall in love with Suits, watching Suits and
Oh,
everything because of her
nice.
personality, her character, the way she speaks, the way she walks, everything about her. I feel sorry for her, and I'm so happy that we are standing up for what is right now. And what they did to Angela Levin, this so-called liar and everything, I don't think she have children. Because if she have children, as I am right now, I would think, oh, I'm a woman. What about if they do such type of thing to me? I put myself in Maggie's shoes every day and say,
I think
wow.
she does. I think she does
Yeah,
have
because
kids. I think she's got
if
2 sons.
somebody says something that is not right about me for the whole of the year, I'm not going to feel okay. Talk less about somebody you hear her name every day in the news. In the news, like what somebody said, the new prime minister that they swear in, they didn't even hear her name, but it was making name all over everywhere. So I just hope that Kate also reap whatever thing she sow. And William and Charles, I just hope they reap everything, because one thing I believe, there is a law of karma, and whatsoever thing anyone sow in this life, that person will always reap it. So for me right now, it's
Mm.
heartbreaking to see Harry going through this. Somebody that served the country for 10 years and everything, risk his life and everything. And that pedophile of Andrew and this, what's it called, who don't even go to war to serve the country and everything. All of them, they put on for me, that suit. I don't just understand how those people can live with themselves. I don't just understand. I don't know. There's a video that I want to play for you guys, for everyone to hear. I don't know if it's if I can play it for you to hear, and it's very, very important. It's very, very important, seriously.
Uh, what is it about?
It's about the people worshiping, honoring the queen, mourning the death of the queen, with everything they've done to slavery. That means if you are honoring the queen right now, mourning the death of the queen, that means you are celebrating slavery.
Mm, mm. Oh no, I think we probably won't play that one, but you can describe to me like what's being said in the
Yeah,
video.
there's a man, I think he's from South Africa or so. He was saying
Mm,
any blacks who is mourning the death of the queen right now, any country that's anything black, or anybody mourning the death of the queen right now, that means that person is celebrating slavery, the torture, the beats, what these people, the queen, the royal family did to the blacks and everything. So
mm.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people have come forward to talk about this, and unfortunately they're been punished for it. And I think I did an earlier podcast on this when the news first broke about the policing of pain of different people. So a lot of the people who are being attacked when
Mhm.
they talk about colonization or the history of slavery, it seems like it's mostly people of color that are being attacked. But when, say, the Welsh or the Irish talk about that part of their history where the monarchy really hurt their people, that doesn't seem to being policed at all.
Mhm.
um so I do think going forward, um uh, uh, the conversation is going to continue. It absolutely should continue, and I'm not for this fake respectability where we're meant to just silence ourselves, because I think respectability is often used as a tool to stop people from talking.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for your contribution, MZ. Is there
Thank
anything that you
you.
wanted to end on before we move to the next person?
For me,
All
we
right,
should
thank you so
keep.
much. You can stay in the chat and chime in later. All right, Mary, I'm gonna let you speak. Go on, Mary.
Hi, hi, Anna.
Hi, welcome to the chat. Hi.
It's I just wanted to say that I didn't. I thought are they just finished? Is that news report just coming out about Harry wearing his military suits and stuff like that?
Yes, it literally just came out in like the last hour or two.
Um, so I found it quite weird as well that Harry wasn't
Mm,
wearing suit, but they
got so much backlash. Even the um Jobson, Robert Jobson was like, that is a bit petty. Even the people that support them were like, that that is a bit petty. Harry serves for 10 years, and um, what is his name? Prince Edward left in the practice stage, isn't he? In the training
Yes,
stage.
yes.
So Jobson wasn't taking a bit of it. So then um there's another thing I wanted to say. Then the whole thing about them holding hands.
Mm.
Did you listen to LBC today?
Oh yes, yes. So we are talking about this earlier. Did you listen to it? What did you think about it?
Oh, I thought the man was perfectly right that
Mm.
that's it was just a man, a woman holding her husband, a woman holding her husband's hand.
What a horrible war crime. War crimes committed against humanity, I tell you.
and, and, and then the whole thing. Oh Lord, I don't even want to mention his name, um, because I didn't listen to the whole thing. Piers P PM Piers
Piss
Morgan.
moron. Oh, was he
Yeah,
ranting today? I didn't hear about it.
yeah, he was going on about how
Oh dear.
Harry was man if he wrote that thing about honoring his father, he should give up writing the book. I was like, seriously?
Mm.
That he's going to bash pre- his brother, his father, and that Camilla.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, how do you know what is in the book?
Exactly.
They don't even know what is in the
Exactly.
book, and they're talking like Scobie said. Ahmed Scobie. I said Ahmed. Ahmed Scobie said that the book that is not yet out, you don't even know what is in it.
Yeah, and I do think that when it does come out, they are going to be absolutely embarrassed. But thank you so much, Mary, and I'll you can stay on, and if you want to chime in afterwards, you can. Max Wellata, I will let you on, but you need to switch off your camera, hun. Lovely. Go on, darling.
Hi. How are you, Anne?
Hey, I'm
It's
fantastic.
lovely
Yourself?
to hear you. I'm always on, but I never get to be on the lives because I'm always at work, but then I'm off today.
Oh, fantastic. Well, welcome to the live.
Yes, thank you.
All right, what's your 2
Um,
cents?
well, first I want to say happy birthday to Harry. I'm also a September
Mhm.
baby, so yay
Nice.
Virgos, which is
Yeah.
good. Um, but like I'm just kind of disappointed to see that even on a day like today where it's supposed to be, some sort of a celebration of life and whatnot, that even at this point they're still being so petty towards Harry and Meghan. Just,
Mm,
I don't know, it's just really sad to see. And
mm,
I wish that they would get over themselves. I get that
mm,
you're the monarchy and you're trying to, I guess, show that your importance and your authority over others, but at this point it's not just about the monarchy. It's a family matter, and no matter how much people may feel about the queen and her standing, there's still there's still respect that's still needed across the board for everyone who's involved. And I just think that the media needs to relinquish their hold on this situation. It's just ridiculous at this point.
Yes, because it makes the whole of Britain look bad, and it's just created such a toxic way of thinking. I
Yes.
think in this country, but to be honest with you, I actually don't know how, and I can't even imagine how, because it's so ingrained in our culture, it's so normalized in British culture. I don't know how it gets fixed. Like I personally, even living in this country, I can't see a pathway to how we fix
Right.
this.
And I think you guys feel it the most there as well, especially that the fact that, you know, this is supposed to represent your country. I'm from Jamaica. Well, my background is Jamaican, but I live in Canada, in Toronto, Canada. So I feel it from both sides, you know, understanding how the queen and the monarch kind of treated Black people and that sort of thing, and having, you know, the understanding that that was not okay, and that we need to make sure that we are advancing as humans, and, you know, making up for the times and the history. But like, I don't know. I don't know how to put it in words, really, the disappointment that this is the 21st century and we're still acting like mongrels.
Yes. And I think something else that a lot of people maybe aren't bringing up as much, that I think is very important, is all of this that's happening, specifically to Meghan, is happening, you know, on the backdrop of a rise in what I like to call misogyny 2.0. And you've got a lot of online hate, a lot of online channels, and I think Christopher Boozy is doing a lot of work on this and trying to get platforms like YouTube to take it more seriously.
Yeah, and our community as well, we're doing a lot to show that, hey, listen, you can have opinions on something, but that doesn't mean you have to spew hate, right? We may disagree with what a lot of these reporters are saying, and all the different, you know, bots and hater people who are always on throwing their spews, but you can still disagree with something. You can still, you know, have respect for others without dragging people down with you or bringing them to your level because of your jealousy and your hatred. It's just absolutely disgusting, the behaviors that these people have. Like, there's no reason to communicate to others just because you don't like somebody's skin tone. Like, come on now, where are we? Like, what's
There
going
was
on?
actually there was an article that came out the other day. It was this Australian woman who, I think, so she was banned from Twitter for like a year. I guess she has a new book coming out, and she did this article where I think she said something along the lines of, "Oh, Meghan's back like a dog to vomit," or something like that. I mean, it's that type of thing. Like, like, how is that journalism? How is that fair critique? It's
It's
just pure and
not.
utter hatred.
It's bias. That's all it is. And from what I know about journalism, there should be no bias there, right? You should be telling a story. You shouldn't be staying on a side and communicating about a side of something. It's you take in the information and you give a thought out review on it, not just, oh, okay, well, I like this particular side of it, so I'm going to take this information and bash everything else that's involved. Like, how do we progress as a society if all we do is hate on others? Like, I just want to see what your heart looks like at the end of this, and what karma is going to come to you for treating somebody that has done absolutely nothing to you. Like, nothing at all.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Max Walletta, and like the others, feel free to stick around and chime in afterwards. Thank you so much. Crack me up, love. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome to the chat, darling.
Yes, I was wanted to join the chat first of all to wish Harry a happy birthday. I'm a Virgo woman myself, but I really
Nice.
want to point out something that we don't normally talk about. My mother was an only child, and Megan is an only child. And I think what people tend to do to only children is harbor a lot of dislike for them. And they harbor that because those only children were blessed to have more than average attention, right? So when I see Megan walking in to that lion's den that she walked into, I just feel like she's doing fine because she's always had a lot of attention. She's an only child. And I just feel like everything that they're doing to them is just coming right back around to them. I have no hate towards any of the royal family because they're getting it all back. It's just coming right back to them. It really is. And if when I hear you guys say something like you don't see how the media and all this will turn around, I need to say to you that they've said that about a lot of things, right? If we live long enough, we'll see that. We might not see it turn around in the timing that we want to see it turn around, but the pure fact that eyes are on it and people are looking and listening, that by itself is a turnaround. Whereas before, they just really got away with all of it and just did whatever they wanted to.
That's a very good point. Thank you.
Yeah, so just, when you're thinking about it, first of all, I have a lot of joy in my heart, because all I can say to them is I just always think of songs, right? When I look at the royal family, I think of LL Cool J, and they need love. They need love. I mean, if you really want to get down to it, if you want to find some humor in this, those folks need some love. So we continue to I know there's a lot going on here. There's been a lot going on for a lot of years. But every time I look at them, all I can think about is these people need love. All that money, castles and buildings, all of that. And they are the most miserable people I've ever seen. It's just, it's just something to think about, right? When no matter what they print or what they do, what they have, they are miserable with all of that. So I would rather just not have it and be happy, or have it and be happy, right? It's just, when I think about Harry and Meghan and those kids and everything, I see joy and I see love there, right? You can't mock that when it's genuine. It's authentic. So you can't copy it because it's authentic. You know what I mean? And my last little statement is going to be I'm waiting to see Harry in that uniform. I love eye candy. so I'm telling you now, I'm gonna be the first. I'm looking for that picture. I cannot wait because that man look good in a uniform, right? And so in my heart, he looks good in a uniform. And my heart is enlightened when I hear people from other countries and in other places. I'm from, the USA, but when I hear you guys talk about the impact and what it means around the world, I even get happier because then I know eyes are looking from around the world. Everyone's seeing this. And I'm just going to leave you with this. The royal family, they need love. They need
Amen
some love.
to that. Amen to that. Thank you so much, Maria. Oh, thank you. Oh, you guys are amazing. All right. Fatumata, welcome to the chat, darling.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Usually I get trouble with my internet. I'm still out of the country. I was wondering if you can hear me well.
You're okay, but you're a little bit choppy. Go ahead.
Okay. What about now?
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Yes. I wanted to say that if you remember well, the man who started all of this, I think his name is Simon Case. He was part of Brexit people. So I think he perfected that, and then he went on to use that against the Duchess. Prince William was jealous that his brother is, because he can no longer tell people that he's the behind the scene man, because that's what he usually get reported. He's the commander-in-chief behind the scene that's doing everything, and just Harry just coming out and and doing the work. So I think when the Duchess came in, now he has a teammate. Prince Harry has a teammate. They can work together. And he sees that he can no longer use his brother, who has a real life experience and smart. So they were jealous. And I think that Simon Case person had his friends at the tabloid started a war, and they saw that was successful, and they kept going. The media is making money. Prince William is now, well, the saint among the older royalists, and his boring wife. They are the saint, and whenever there is a controversy, it's now Meghan. I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to change because they make money. They're going to continue. They're going to create this stupid controversy to have other people who, because people are responding. If people didn't respond, they would not go on with it. But people are responding, so they love the clicks and everything. And time like this, I do feel bad for like squaddy like yourself, who kind of put yourself online or in the line to kind of inform us, because I made my peace after 2019 with the airplane thing. I decided not to read anything from the bodies. I just, because it affected me. It kind of ruined my day, and I have family, so I decided just not to read it. So I rely on whatever you and others are reporting or posting, and sometimes I go, oh my God, I feel bad for them, because they have to see this and look at this, then come and tell us what's going on. So I do feel bad sometimes, and I hope that you are really taking care of yourself, not to, because I take things really personally, because I was a fan of them before the marriage, so I was already invested. So when I used to see those headlines, sometimes I get panic attacks. I go, my God, what are they doing to this woman? So I decided to just leave it alone, and just leave it alone. I know there's a problem with she hold her hand. The dear black lady decided to hold the hand of the grieving prince. How dare she? But other than that, I really don't look at comments. I don't look at articles. I don't do it. But I do listen to you and Baron, and you guys tell us what's going on. So thank you.
Oh no, thank you for all of your support and love. And I can totally relate to you. It has been a very difficult thing to watch, because I don't think that people who hate on Meghan, they don't understand how they come across, because I have to question if you can allow the media to manipulate you into hating this woman of color who was so accomplished before she ever walked into that family and hasn't done anything wrong and could have actually been the saving grace for that family. What else must you have in your heart? That's the question that I have. And I feel like they don't realize that you don't have to call me the N-word to be a racist. Just you being so clearly triggered by someone who is so accomplished but different from you, that tells me a lot about you.
Yes. And I didn't care about William and Kate. I watched their wedding, but I was never, I didn't have any opinion of them. When I see them, they're smiling, I go, oh, lovely couple. Now I see them, I see the devil, to tell you the truth. Because that stunt, that infamous stunt that Prince William did right after the airplane, really vile, really horrible. They really abused Prince Harry that time. It was really, really bad. Even the Prime Minister at that time made a comment, oh, I thought they were into the environment and stuff. I thought it was really, really horrible. And then he pulled that stunt. Since that day, I cannot look at that man's face. Yeah. If I see him, I have to run away from him because I might punch him. They might arrest me. That's how much I hate the man. After
He's
that stunt,
and you know he's
I,
on the
it was
privy
horrible,
now.
and that made me open my eyes because usually I thought, oh, they were in the same institution. There's nothing he can do, stuff like that. And then after that, I went. It's like, oh, this is him.
And you know he's on
Yeah,
the
he
Privy
is. I
Council
saw
now.
that. I think
Yeah.
that woman, RS Lax, something like that on Twitter. I think she made a comment about it. Who's gonna be next, Dan Wootton and Piers Morgan, something like that. So, they're getting their reward. They got him what he wanted. The charismatic, accomplished woman that he calls bloody woman before the wedding. He was uncle, help me separate my dear brother from this girl. After they got married, and I think they were reported that time that he wanted to get the credit for the book the Duchess did, and apparently he didn't go the way he wanted. I don't know if it's that true or not, but there was something that happened in the beginning, and then he realized, oh no, I'm not gonna roll my brother around the way I usually do. This woman, that bloody woman now, he called her, will not let me do it. So he has a teammate now. I can no longer pretend to be the commander-in-chief behind planning everything. Who can believe that? I would never believe that. That he, after they left, if anybody believes that, after they left, what had he done since then? Him and his wife. Well, his wife gave us 5 questions to answer after 10 years. If she did give us, we have to answer the question ourselves for her charity or whatever. So all of them, I don't like them, from the father to everybody. I don't know why. I know Prince Harry knows things we don't know. There's a reason why he loved his granny, because she could have done something. I know she doesn't have that much power, but one day I remember I said, well, she could have done what she did for the Boris Johnson's wife, at that time girlfriend. She could have just tell one of her mistress ladies or lady in waiting, something like that, to go whisper something to the tabloid, say, oh, the queen doesn't really approve the way you treated Meghan, because that's what she did for Mrs. Johnson. She could have done that. She could have done what she did when the referendum was going on. I think it was in Scotland, and at that time David Cameron was the prime minister, and all people were indicating that they might leave. So he was really nervous. He went and said, if you could have done something. She finally went to this church after she came out. She told a woman, people should think about what they're doing. And for that reason, maybe not just that reason, but that was widely reported, and people do believe that that has something to do with the referendum not succeeding completely. So she could have done something like that. I wouldn't expect her to write something and say, leave my my grandson wife alone, but she could have done little something to show like she's supporting him and his wife. Even if it didn't change anything, I'm sure it would have been a heartwarming thing for Prince Harry and his wife. I think the Duchess would have felt a little better and say, oh, God.
I think that one day, I hope we can get a little bit more clarity as to why she didn't, because I think, especially for us who are Sussex supporters, it's very confusing. But thank you so much, Fatumata, for your input. And it's it's going to almost an hour now. So if anybody wanted to, I'm gonna give a 5-minute cutoff. If anybody else who's still in because there's like 4 of you in the back who wanted to add anything else to the end, you can, and then we'll call it a day. So, Mary, Melissa, or Rahini, did you want to say anything?
Hi. About this
Mary.
thing about the British press, I read an article about a woman. She's way older than me now, but I think at the time she was about 20 in the early 90s. she said that she had to leave this country to go to America. Now she lives in America.
Yes. Yes, I remember that lady. There was a blonde lady. I can't remember her name though.
And she said that if if she didn't leave this country, she would have killed herself. Basically, that's what she said. She did an interview with I think Heart Radio.
Yes, yes, I remember that. Yeah.
A radio station. Capital Radio. That's what the one. Capital Radio. And she said that British press is known for bringing someone down and making them feel suicidal and stuff like that.
Yeah, and encouraging other people to bully you as well. I remember Alexandra Burke gave an interview, and she said that a woman just randomly came up to her and said, "Oh, I heard you're a B. Is that true?" I mean, can you imagine like how brainwashed you have to be to go up to someone and say that to their face, and say it
Even
with a straight face and so
what is his
confidently?
name? What is this man's name that worked for GP News? The man that placed flowers 4 times in Buckingham Palace.
Oh, Dan Dan Wooten. He bullied Alexandra Burke and Carolyn Flack
in the hospital. Basically, when she was when I think her mother just died, and he called her a what is it called? Too big for her purse. That's
that was Alexandra Burke. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she actually said that she had to get therapy because of that.
She did a YouTube thing when that Black Lives Matter thing came out. That's why I saw it. So the British press is well known for the bullying.
Yes. Well, that's has become more than obvious the last few years. But thank you so much, Mary. Rahini, did you want to say anything? Go on.
Hello?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, I got bumped up before. Well, before I go, I just wanted to share my favorite memory of Harry. Well, he's not going to anything, but one of my favorite things about Harry when I was younger. Oh my gosh. I'm not lying. I had a crush on Harry for a very long time. so I've always said, hello?
Didn't we all?
I always said that I liked Meghan, but I love Harry. I remember one time there was this story about him in his youthful days, and the story said that he would go to bars and he would, go up to a girl and say, I'm a prince and I have a castle. Do you want me to take you back to my castle? And I remember my aunt, she is a nurse in England. And I remember calling her and begging her, can I come visit? Like, I need to come visit and go to one of these bars and in London somewhere, and hopefully Harry will take me back to his castle. I don't sleep. But I think it's from then, I love this one. And I thought that was literally the coolest thing ever. I thought it was the coolest thing. And it's funny because they obviously wrote that article to make him look bad. But that doesn't make him look bad to me. I think that's a pretty good pickup line, personally. Like, would you not go? Come on, be honest. Would you take me back to your castle? I would do it. So that was one of my favorite things about him, and I wanted to share that. But it's very interesting that the British media has that tendency to try to bring you down, and I never understood when exactly it got like that. Because the tabloids in America, they tear people down too, but you usually have to do something. So it's more after the fact, right? They don't go seeking to destroy you. And I don't know if it's simply because of American culture, because we in America, they like the underdog. They like the idea of started from the bottom. Now we're here, of you
Mm.
growing, and they like to celebrate success. But in England, there seems to be this need to continuously perpetuate this classist system. So if
Yeah.
anybody seems to be moving out of the class that they were born into, it's like, no,
Yes.
we need to bring them back down, which
Yes.
I do not understand. How, as a people, I can understand the royal family, I can understand the wealthy thinking like that, but the people thinking that
Yes.
that's okay, it's strange to
Mm.
me. Very strange.
Yes. It is very
What else I
strange
wanted to say?
to actually see yourself as a subject. I don't see myself as a subject. I'm a citizen. And thank you so much, Rahini. Melissa, did you want to say anything before we go? Finish off the show?
Yeah, sorry. I've really enjoyed listening to the conversations and stuff. I wanted to basically say, I don't know, it's just a sad situation that we're basically in. Well, they're in. And I have to say, since Meghan came to England, I don't know what happened, but she switched on the light, and it's like I can
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
I knew there was racism, but I didn't know
Mm.
how bad. And in England, they're so clever, they're so manipulative with the racism. And then on top of that, I know we haven't got long to go. On top of that, I, like behind closed doors, I guess we don't know what the family dynamics is, but I feel like Charles is not a good dad. He's been
Mm.
using Harry since the day like he was born. He made it abundantly clear that he wasn't happy that he was a male and he was ginger. Since then, that family has not protected him whatsoever. And
Mm.
and then I'm not sure if you saw all those shots outside Buckingham Palace where someone has deliberately,
Yes.
pitched themselves, and the actual photographer person is actually Prince Charles's photographer. So
Yeah,
it's
yes.
just,
We mentioned this on the podcast the other day.
yeah,
I
it's like
found his
they're being
Getty profile.
exploited.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's sick how they're kind of playing a game of chess on a dead woman's coffin. It's just
Yeah.
and even when they did the whole entire walkabout and stuff, it's just me personally, I wouldn't have gone to that because the temperature of the mood, sorry, the temperature of the country, it's still
Mm.
negative towards Meghan. And I
Mm.
think that was incredibly brave for her to do that.
Yes.
And it didn't even look like she even had proper security. So
Mm.
the fact that they did that, I'm she's brave. And I think, to be honest with you, if anyone was to turn around and say that she's a gold digger, she's with him for clout, remember, she's done 4 years of prison time in Sing Sing prison for him. you
Yeah.
know in Shutter Island prison. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's done 4 to 5 years of Shutter Island prison for him. And and I think my hopes and prayers for them is for them to continue to be successful, continue to do what they're doing, because I think it shows how the country only thinks about England. They are a very powerful couple.
Yes.
They are the first mixed race couple in our lifetime. And it's just, I don't think these people are not thinking, oh my God, um, how can I explain? They're more powerful than, was it, the stealth fishes that are in there. They're more
Mm.
powerful. They're more, I don't know. And Charles is not a good dad, man. He's how could you still be in? How could you shake hands with the Daily Mail when they're taking down your son? It's just,
Yes.
unless there's more to the scene we don't know. Sorry, I'm not allowing you to talk. Sorry, go on.
No, 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 no worries. Yeah, I think you're right. And at the end of the day, like, he may be king, but I do think that when it comes to the tabloids, they will always put their bottom line first. And I think the predictions from everyone are right. I think that the tabloids will turn on them eventually.
I personally think so as well, because if you look at it, I don't think the Queen was really running anything, because you know how much, like, the tabloids, they know everything. They know
Mm.
everything. So, and the fact that her signature at the time, it could change laws and everything else. So that there's obviously a lot of blackmailing that was going. That's obviously is going on. And on top of that, you got how Princess Diana died, and it wasn't because it was a drunken situation. We all know what happened, and I think that's the reason why the world grieved the way it did, because we couldn't openly say it. So it's just and also I don't like how, since he's been a king, have you not felt the mood of the country that it feels like he's become like a dictator, like it
Yes.
like Kim Jong-un. It's like people can't just put up like
if King Jong-un heard you say that, he'd be like, "Excuse me, I'm the better dictator. How dare you compare me to that sausage finger?"
Oh my god. He's becoming like, literally, he's coming Kim Jong-un, because now it's like people can't have posters up, people can't do this, people can't, and well, technically I want to leave this country in 2 years, because ever since the Brexit situation, that was the worst mistake we ever made. The worst mistake we ever made. The worst. How could you know you can't be doing trades with different countries and then not understand the products need to go through EU, sea, air, and land? You know what I mean? It's just the biggest mistake. But yeah, it's like, anyway, let me go back. But literally, when it comes to Prince Charles, he's becoming Kim Jong-un. And also, I'm not sure if you noticed, sorry, I have a lot to say, that's all. I'll stop talking, I'll let you talk, sorry.
No, we'll do another open podcast tomorrow, but I'm just but thank you so much for your contributions, Melissa. Travel Jet Setter, you have joined in the very last minute. I'm going to give you 2 minutes exactly. Give us your 2 cents and end the podcast for us. Go right ahead, hun.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Are you a guy?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, a male's body. Welcome to
How
the
are you?
chat. I'm fantastic. Lovely to hear a male voice. There's not that many of you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and as you can hear, I have an American accent. So,
whereabouts in the States are you from?
I live 2 hours north of Chicago.
Okay, nice. Okay, what do you think of the goings on in the past week?
Oh my goodness, it's been all over the American media. Words can't even express right now. Just y'all right, y'all. I thought America was racist. Boy, ooh. I've been learning just how racist England is. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to any of you, but I will never step foot into that country. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What can I ask, what specifically has like what
just
like,
from like the whole monarchy thing, and just from what I'm seeing on TV, that people they're getting arrested, and for just pretty much saying how they feel, and they're being dragged and ridiculed, and no.
Yeah. Well, I don't let that put you off enjoying the many wonderful things that we have, not just in England, but I would just say the whole the United Kingdom. Scotland is lovely. It's lovely. Northern Ireland is lovely. So definitely don't let that put you off. There's a lot more to England and the whole of the United
and
Kingdom.
Just kind of from what I'm witnessing, and I've done research on it, it's like just how the structure of how England is. It seems like it's when it comes to racism in England, it's more like systematic racism, not like in your face. Like when it comes to like getting a job or something like that, or when it comes to like living standards and things like that. It's like that here too, but it's more in your face. They're gonna let you know here. You know what I mean? But it's like in England, it seems like it's just on. It's like through it's through like the government. That's kind of what I see it as. Not like in your face.
I think you're right, but I think what makes it different here in the UK is because race is intertwined with class.
Right.
and that creates levels for everyone. And then when you then put race into the mix, I think it heightens the level of discrimination that happens, or that's just the way I see it anyway. Because I feel like
Mhm.
with America, you've got problems with race, but you haven't necessarily got the same problems with class, because you don't really have a class system.
Well, we do.
Not the
We
same
have a
way. Not in the
class
same way,
system,
though. I don't think.
but not, yeah. But yeah, but it's in yeah. You can say it like that. It's through a different way, because a lot of a lot of people of color in this country, they can't live. They're not allowed to. How can I put this? When it comes to wanting to live in a certain neighborhood, and if you have a certain amount of money, if you're making like a minimum wage job, they're not going to like approve you for like a house like loan or something like that to buy a house. Or when it comes to like getting a loan from the bank, like if you like, even with if your voice sounds like a Black American voice, and if they hear it, they're gonna be like, nope, we're not giving you a loan.
Wow.
That's how it works. It works through. That's how it works. Like if it's like, oh my God, hi, yeah, hi, what I mean, like that, like a American white Becky voice or something like that, then you'll get a loan, or you'll be approved. But anyone of even the Hispanics here is like anybody who is non-white. If they hear if you don't have a white American voice, they're gonna deny it, and they're gonna be like, nope.
What do you think? Do you think that the American public, especially now with, I guess, the oversaturation of coverage with the Queen's funeral, how do you think that Kate and William will be received now?
I think they're going to be looked at very differently, because we're now seeing we're kind of now finding out the real deal, compared to what the American media like put out there when it comes to like interviews. Because when they do coverage on William and Kate Middleton here in the United States, it's like only in like 2-minute snippets, or it's like interviews and stuff. It's not like what we're seeing on TV with the live coverage that we're getting from the UK. So now the American people, they're starting to see it in a whole different light, what the monarchy is really about over there. Because as the BBC is live over here, where people are watching it on YouTube, and they're now starting to see what it's really like, compared to how the American media portrays the monarchy to be. Because it's like it's in snippets. It's not like what we're seeing from the British media, like from what we're seeing right now, because of the coverage of Queen Elizabeth's death.
Well,
so it's going to be different views. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
No, thank you so much for your input, Travel Jet Setter, and thank you everyone who's given your 2 cents today. I like to give as much of a platform to everyone to speak their minds as possible. And I do think it is important, though, on that, just to remember that it is not everyone in the UK. Unfortunately, I think it is a very loud portion who are not the majority of the people in the UK. They just happen to be the loudest, and there are many people across racial lines, class lines, that do very much support Harry and Meghan. We had the wonderful Kate and her sister Elizabeth that came on the other day. So I think while we do acknowledge the racism, I do think it's also important, along with that, just to remind ourselves that there are people that support this couple in this country and indeed in England. So we don't get too bogged down by the negative side, because it can weigh on your soul a lot to feel like that, to feel like everybody is against this couple. And that's just not the case. And I certainly, as I said earlier, would not allow the hatred of a certain pocket put you off from coming and enjoying the United Kingdom, because there are plenty of people who are just as lovely. And this is, after all, Harry's birth country, and I don't think he would want that either. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. A very happy birthday to Harry. And it's day what, 365. Oh, we're almost there, folks. We are almost there. And thank you so much to all of you for just keeping me alive, basically. Because it's been, the day the Queen passed was actually a relatively straightforward day. Like, we came on, I went live, we all heard the announcement live together. There wasn't too much kind of running around, and it's just everything that's come after. There's a lot of things that have really, really surprised me. But we are living in a history. It's very interesting times, and something to tell the kids and the grandkids. So with that, happy birthday to Harry. Thank you, everyone. And I will play. Oh, thank you, Valerie. Day 7. Day 7 of the Great British Morning. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll play us out, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.
People should expect the real me in this, and probably the me that they've never gotten to know, certainly not in the past few years, where everything is through the lens of the media, as opposed to, hey, it's me. I'm just excited to be myself and talk and be unfiltered, and yeah, it's fun.